All right, this is Kat, and I've got one more rainbow card for you. So this one I'm using a stencil it's a flower stencil. I used my tape adhesive tape runner to put a little bit on the back of the white daisy cardstock, which is cut to 6x6, and adhered it to my all-purpose mat. I'm then using blender brushes to apply the distressed oxide inks to that cardstock. So I'm using Candied apple, carved pumpkin, and basically it's just, you're overlapping a little bit with the inks, so it kind of creates a second color between the red and the orange, and so it kind of gives you a little bit more definition of that rainbow by overlapping those colors. And basically I'm just going to apply that all the way down and to end up with the purple. So the yellow, I use Fossilized amber to apply. And if you notice, the brushes are in different sizes. Some of them are a little bit larger. The nice thing about these blender brushes is they can be washed, and so you can remove the ink. You always want to be careful when you're using them. They could be used for regular ink, distressed side inks, any kind of ink, but what you want to make sure you're not doing is mixing the two, because it will ruin your ink pads. So it's always important to wash them after use, so that way they're nice and clean for your next project. I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm using washi tape to hold down that stencil to that daisy white cardstock. So now I'm moving to the Mowed lawn for the green and applying that. This stencil is unique because it actually has a second layer to it, so it creates a different effect, which you'll see soon. All right, I sped up the video just a little bit just because it's a repetitive procedure. The next color is Blueprint Sketch, Distressed Oxide, and I'm doing that to the second to last color. And my last color is Wilted Violet. And see, I'm just grabbing the green to kind of go over that section. And here comes the Wilted Violet. And I'm going to have that all applied. So now pull up that stencil, which can be washed or you can reuse it. Now this one has a second layer to it. So it has the circles of the flowers. So I'm lining that up. There is a correct way to put this on, so you want to make sure you got it going the correct direction. And then I'm going to use this paper glaze, and it's a black paper glaze. It's kind of like texture paste. But it has a little bit more of a gloss look to it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that and add that to the centers. So I will say that this glaze works a little differently than the texture paste. I prefer the ease that the texture paste has because it seems to glide on. This is seeming to dry quicker, but it still works just the same. And then I'll peel that off and reveal the centers of the flowers. Now I trim that down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm going to adhere that to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 base of cardstock, black cardstock. And then I'm going to add these 2 layers onto my card base. I'm using Close to My Heart's card bases, which are nice because they are 5 1/4 by 5 1/2 and already have an envelope that goes with it. So I'm going to just use my tape runner and adhere this to that card base. The next step will be to add a sentiment. And you can choose which way you want the rainbow to go, whether you want to start with the red and end with the purple or vice versa. And you can even turn this card horizontally and it'd be fine. So I have this die cut. I have a stash of extra pieces of white daisy cardstock that are cut into different shapes, and I found a very cool sentiment for a birthday. So I'm just going to stamp that onto here and put this in the center of the card. And so it's just really easy. I don't want things to distract from that cool background because I really want that to be my focus. And so I just used a black ink, and I'm actually going to use some foam tape to actually pop this one up. So please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you will see when I release new videos. I hope you enjoy watching this and are going to give it a try yourself. So thanks for watching.